Night has fallen over the cragged landscape of Diadem, a desolate alien planet. Small in the foreground, a spaceship, rusted like an old pickup truck, sits awash in the flickering glow of a campfire. Cutting in closer, we see Natalie, a young trans woman, and her father, Grady, silhouetted against the flames. There's a distance between them. And yet in this moment, bathed in firelight, Grady sees her. He sees her. I want you to know that I really am trying to be better, he tells her. And for the first time since they crashed on this planet, she meets his gaze. And no matter what happens, I am so incredibly proud of the woman you've become. In a wide shot, a cosmic tapestry aglow in the sky above, Natalie closes the distance between them. And cutting back close, we see them start to doze off as she's nestled in his arms. We cut then to a distant view of the pair, magnified through high-tech binoculars. There's something, or someone, watching.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Josie May Hurtley, and I'm excited to give you a bit of an introduction to my upcoming short film, Grounded. In Grounded, after crash landing on a hostile alien planet, a spirited young trans woman and her well-meaning father must learn to better understand each other and repair their ship if they want to have any hope of leaving the planet alive. At its core, the story is about the complexities that arise in even the most loving of relationships for a transitioning young adult. For some context, I've been out as a trans woman for about a year and a half. And in that time, filmmaking has really given me the opportunity to tell my own stories. It has given me a community that really believes in that vision. The core relationship of Grounded is based heavily on my own relationship with my parents. They're incredibly loving and supportive, but have definitely struggled to adjust to the change. I don't blame them. They've known me for 20 years by a different name and different pronouns, but it's still hard when they slip up. And that tension is something I find really interesting, and it's woven into the very core of the story. For instance, when we first meet Natalie, our protagonist, she's bitter at her father for his struggle to adjust. That bitterness leads her to ignore his instructions and eventually cause the crash that lands them in this situation to begin with. Over the course of the story, she learns to better understand her father's perspective and be more receptive to his guidance. Similarly, Grady, as he notices just how much of an impact his seemingly small mistakes are having on his daughter, begins to identify ways in which he can affirm her womanhood, both for her sake and for himself. Aside from the two leads, one of our main characters is, of course, the ship itself. This ship on the inside is based heavily off of designs from Alien in 2001, which both managed to take cold, lifeless spaceships and make them feel like warm, lived-in spaces. And it's based externally on the Sikorsky Sky Crane, a cargo helicopter, and an old truck that my dad used to drive hauling horses before I was born. The combination of these influences gives the ship a bit of a blue-collar industrial feel that also pays homage to my family history. There we go. The other major player is, of course, the planet itself, portrayed and grounded by the natural desert landscapes of Utah. It's supposed to be a place where it and its inhabitants are both beautiful and menacing. To achieve this, we're going to be employing traditional techniques like miniatures and motion control, along with cutting-edge technology like virtual production and 3D printing. As far as our budget goes, we have estimated about a $10,000 budget, and that comes from private investment and projected grant funding from the University of Utah and Salt Lake City Arts Council. And most of that budget is going to be going to art department expenses like the set, miniatures, and a bespoke motion control system. Of course, none of this would be possible without the incredible work of my producers, Hayden Turnbow and Lauren DeGraff, who are both here tonight. Their support has been absolutely vital in making sure that my directorial debut has progressed smoothly. Beyond them, we have an incredible crew of artists, and we're really focusing on elevating and lifting up trans and queer voices. And as a part of that, our director of photography and our lead costumer are both trans. Our goal here is to bring an unabashedly trans story to trans and cis audiences alike, and potentially present a path forward for people looking to better connect with their loved ones. Right now, in a time when anti-trans legislation and fear-mongering are still common, it's really important to tell these stories. And we've also developed a distribution plan for
I really liked your introduction.
Thank you.
You painted a very visual scene, which that's kind of what I've been referencing. Is like, okay, we know you have a visual style, and then backed up with this. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, really great opening, great pitch. Love how you put yourself in there in your own story. And it's just such a great story around reparation, understanding differences, and being able to unite. So what is your distribution plan?
So our distribution plan is to focus on festivals and platforms that have an emphasis on queer and genre-specific stories.
Okay.
So looking locally, Film Quest, Utah Queer Film Festival, and then beyond that, the Translations Festival in Seattle, and other science fiction festivals as well.
That bell's amazing. You get an automatic round of applause when the bell goes out. So speaking from a broad distribution perspective, you're targeting a very limited audience with an amazing story and amazing idea. And I would just maybe challenge you to think bigger, because the market is underserved with sci-fi content. So that is something that you already have in your favor.
Yeah.
Heading into it, the ideas with the spaceship, I mean, all that stuff is really cool and fresh and unique. It's just hearing you talk about your audience. You're talking about a very limited audience. I hear this and I think, boy, you got a big audience to go after. Maybe recalibrate your perspective.
Oh, for sure. And this is very much meant to be, like I said, this is my directorial debut. And so a lot of the purpose of this is to stretch my own legs and understand what I'm capable of as both a director and a designer. So the purpose of this story is not necessarily to get the widest distribution itself, but to act as a learning experience for myself, and also something that can potentially be an example of what I'm capable of later on.
Would you be interested in having this become a feature, the short become a feature? Is that kind of the strategy?
Potentially, but I also that's not something that I've really thought about with this script. I have another script that handles similar themes that is something that I want to make as a short, as a proof of concept for a feature. But part of the reason that I'm doing this one and not that one is because that one is really important to me personally, and so I didn't want it to be the first thing I made.
Got it. Well done.
Thank you.
I also appreciated the opening from a storytelling standpoint. You did such a good job demonstrating like your writing skills. And I was also so enthralled with the visuals because I love good sci-fi that I missed your money slide. Could you again go over what your budget is, what your gap? Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is our projected budget. That $2,000 that was pending, that has cleared, so we do have that. So we have $4,000 of initial private investment. We're going to be seeking about $1,000 of grant funding from the University of Utah. And then the Salt Lake City Arts Council has a grant that we're looking to apply to that would potentially get us $5,000 and bring us up to $10,000. As far as our production expenses, the set, we've set aside $2,500 for miniatures, around $250. Costumes and other art stuff both get $500. And then for other gear, we're really, this is very much like a community effort with people who I know and are really passionate about this project. And so I've got a lot of people who are going to be, who I'm very grateful are going to be working for free on this. I've got also a lot of gear that people already are bringing with them in the project as well. And so it's definitely a tight budget, but is really excited to make it happen.
Good job.
Yeah.
I think all of us can relate. When you're up there, you sort of have an out-of-body experience, and there are intense nerves. So congratulations to everybody. We are going to start with third place, and Nicole, are you ready to read our third place, which goes to, drum roll, JR and
Was it?
Congratulations, J.R. Harding and reenactress for third place. Second place goes to Grounded and Josie Perkins.
And first place goes to Foundry.
Yeah! Woo!
Great, thank you so much. Thanks to all of our filmmakers, thanks to all of our judges, thanks to all of you for showing up. This has been a really fun night, and I think it feels really exciting to think about doing it again. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. Make sure to sign up for the Artist Foundry newsletter. If you haven't already, there's a sign-up sheet out on the table, or you can do it on the website at artistfoundry.org. And I think that's it. Yeah, all my notes. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.